That's all 10 clues. I better get these back to Sierra and see what she can make.
Keep those eyes peeled. Those cappies could be pretty well hidden.
I found all of the hidden cappies. Each one had a letter.
Great. Let me take a look at these letters. Well, anyone who stared at Nuka-Cola merchandise as long as I have would get this one pretty fast. The letters definitely spell refreshing. It's simpler than I was expecting.
So how do we use this code?
This door should lead to Brad Burton's office, but it's locked up tight. The keypad is the only way to open it. I guess we just need to key in the 10 numbers that correspond to the... You did all the work looking for the hidden cappies. So...
You want something from the operators? Then you need to start handing over some more territory.
That's it! The door's unlocked! Let's go inside. Let's search carefully. Formula would be hidden somewhere. No way Brad Burton would leave it out in the open.
I like it all as much as
This is amazing.
you might be overdoing it.
That's it.
In regards to Nuka-Cola Clear production, I think it's obvious that we need to take a step back and examine the facts. Project Cobalt dropped Quantum in our laps, so I think it's best we leverage its potential popularity before someone else beats us to market. Additionally, installing the equipment to produce both flavors would cost us a pretty penny, and I'd rather use the funds to promote Quantum. We also have our lemon lime flavor debuting soon, and need to work out how to market two clear-colored flavors simultaneously. With all these factors taken into account, I have no choice but to hold off Nuka-Cola Clear production for at least the next 2 fiscal years.
This is so exciting!
Don't hit me down.
Wow! What is this place? Let's take a closer look. After you. Now this looks interesting. Come on. What on earth? Wait. No. It can't be. That's John Caleb Bradburton! Or at least it's his head. Wow!
Who are you? I haven't seen a real human face in so long. I had given up all hope.
Oh my god! It's alive! He's alive! My name's Sierra, sir. I'm your biggest admirer. I love Nuka-Cola more than anything. This is such an honor.
You there, with the Pip-Boy. What are you doing here?
We used the contest code to get in?
I made a devil's bargain, though I didn't know it at the time. This was General Braxton's plan all along. He called it Project Cobalt. In exchange for my weapon design, he would give me access to life-extending technology. I'm such a fool for taking him at his word. He never told me that this would be the price.
Who was
He was one of the top men in the Army research. He'd taken a keen interest in my quantum mechanics in exchange for my assistance on a top-secret weapons project.
A weapon? I don't believe it. Why would the genius who brought so...
Genius is restless, madam. It must expand, seek new challenges, and explore new frontiers. It was going to be a quantum-enhanced variant. In fact, the prototypes are stored in this very chip.
What? No!
Are you really sure?
I've had plenty of time to think about it.
You can't kill him. He's a great man. He invented Nuka-Cola.
Lady, you don't know what a torment it is. Being trapped here alone and staring at the same... I realize that what I'm asking isn't easy. But there's something in it.
Sure.
When the power is cut, the door to the prototype storage room will open automatically.
Wait. I have an idea. Mr. Bradburton wants to die because he's... Well, maybe I could stay with him, you know?
You've got a point. But I want compensation for the prototype ammo.
Well, I do have one thing that might interest you. I've got a limited edition Nuka-Cola jumpsuit. It's really... It's one of my most treasured possessions.
A Nuka-Cola jumpsuit? Ha! That's a paltry prize compared to what I'm offering. The choice is yours. But I beg you to honor my wishes.
I sort of feel sorry for him. I couldn't stand being a frozen head. How could I drink Nuka-Cola?
Hey, Sierra.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but... What's your decision?
I'll accept your offer. I won't shut the...
Thank you! You're doing the right thing! After all, this is a great man. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a living legend to talk to.
I commend your diligence. It can't have been easy to find your way in here.
know you mean business. Trust me.
Hey, just wanted to say, no hard feelings. All right?
Surprised to see me alive?
Hey, I may be surprised, but in a good way, all right? Just because I got you in here doesn't mean I didn't regret it.
You never mentioned I was walking into
I know, and I'm sorry. But if you ever cared about anyone, you'd do the same thing. I lost my real family when Coulter and his gangs took this place from us. Now, these traitors are all I have left. They're my family now. Every time Coulter sent me out to lure people into the gauntlet, I didn't have a choice. I had to do it, or he'd kill someone I cared about. I'm just sorry you had to get caught up in all this.
It's all right, Harvey. I understand.
Good to hear, boss. Never figured I'd find myself in this situation before. I thought for sure I'd be...
Just working hard, like always.
Well, look who it is. Liking what you've done with the place, boss. Gang certainly seem pleased with their new little kingdoms. Haven't seen people this revved up since last time someone spiked the water fountains. Never formally introduced myself. Name's Shank. And if you and Nuka World's favorite Cyclops are standing here, well, I suppose he expects you might be the one to finally get things back on track. How long did it take him to convince you it was time to move on the Commonwealth?
Hey now, no convincing, just a friendly conversation between like-minded individuals.
And what makes you think I've been convinced?
Well, if you aren't yet, you sure as hell should be. Giving the gang spots to call their own around the park, it bought you some goodwill. But providing them with their own domains, carved from the settlements of the Commonwealth, well, I can't think of a better way to solidify your place around here. Plus, make us all a pretty penny along the way. If that interests you, well, all you've got to do...
I wanted to ask about...
I'm listening.
Sure. Which gang do you work?
Don't work for the gangs. Gage brought me in to work for the overboss. Plan was I'd advise Coulter in his grand scheme to run roughshod over the common. And despite Coulter's change of heart, I've kept my ear to... I'm hoping today...
What is it that you get?
I've been well taken care of up to this point. I ain't greedy. But people with my kind of talents, all I'm looking for is a continuation of the lifestyle I've become accustomed to.
Right.
And the same piece of the Commonwealth pie everyone else around here has been itching to take a bite of.
So what exactly is it?
I'll walk you through all the ins and outs of getting us established on the other side of those mountains. Claiming territory, running jobs, keeping folks loyal. Gage and Coulter also tasked me with keeping on top of the goings-on back, so I'll provide you with guidance on the places we can hit. Kind of makes me your one-stop shop for causing havoc in the Commonwealth.
That was all I had.
So, does that mean you're ready to begin?
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require 3 things. Territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. We're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from, an outpost. And there are 2 ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the local, or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land? Or you want to wipe?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
I'm gonna need some time.
Of course. I'll be here.
Hey, Shank.
So you decided how you want to claim that territory?
Let me talk to them. I'll convince them.
Works for me. Once you've planted your flag in the place, I'll send a crew in to set up shop. Now, next up, you'll have to pick who you want to hold your outpost once it's established. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang should I have join you once you've staked your claim?
The Disciples.
Yeah? Better bring a target.
I'm sure the ladies will be happy to get some blood on their hands. For a good cause, of course.
That just leaves the target. Now for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again, make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka World's first new homestead?
What were those targets you'd recommend?
Croup Man. Again, now you ready to...
I'm ready.
Good. So... Yup, that place'll do. So, to get these folks to scram, you got 2 main options. Buy them out, or scare them. Either way, the more afraid they are, Lizzie Wyeth over with the
Sure.
And it's worth keeping in mind, the more populated or fortified a place is, the more prep you're gonna want it. Scare them good, but...
wonderful day in Newtown, USA.
Found some pretty good stuff while I was out on the road.
Disciples are a bunch of lunatics. You gotta consider what it says about you.
Boss comes calling. What's your pleasure today?
What have you got?
The medicine you need to set yourself free.
Right? Let's see what you got.
You got it, boss.
Oh, hello, boss. Congratulations on taking out Coulter. I'm, sure you'll do great.
You're damn right.
Sorry I'm so nervous. That, and well, I mean, this is your show now. You could, well, you know, get rid of...
Are you?
Just hear me out. The gangs that call this place home, now, you could risk your own neck and try to keep them from tearing each other apart, or you could do the right thing and put them in the ground. When it's all said and done, you're still running this place from your fancy house.
Sure.
Except now, you won't have to sleep with a gun under your pillow.
I'd have to kill.
No, of course not. If you're serious about this, then you'll have to take down the leader. That means putting a bullet into Nisha, Mason, Mags, and Mags's brother, William. Once you do that, the gangs will collapse and Nuka Town goes back to being a free trading post. I should, probably stop talking about this out here. Just keep what I said in mind. Anyway, I'm the closest thing to a doctor around here. I treat everyone, raider, trader, or traveler alike. Got some medical supplies too, if you're looking for those.
Not interested.
All right.
Nisha seems to think you could make a difference. But for better or worse?
Hey, boss. Gotta admit, it was good to see Coulter go down. It scared the hell out of me. Gave me nightmares.
I'm not planning to.
Thank goodness. I'll sleep a lot better having you. So, what do you think? Figure it must be a pretty tough job.
I wasn't really looking to become the...
Makes sense to me. Well, I'm sure you've got more important stuff.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Sure thing. The traders here are no better than slaves. Poor bastards.
The raiders keep talking about bloodworms.
Wow, look who it is.
I hope I never
Are
find
you here
out
to
what
grace
goes
my
on.
humble market stand with your presence, oh great boss, sir?
Lose the attitude or lose something.
Sorry. I know you didn't ask for this. It's just hard not to be bitter, you know? We do all the work, then the gangs reap the rewards. Pretty sweet setup. But I guess it doesn't really matter what I think, does it?
Do you complain this much to everyone?
Well, it's not every day that one of us low-life traded. Maybe I didn't want to waste the opportunity to tell you. Now.
I'll take a look. Sure.
You got it.
Hey.
Let me know where the car is.
Seems like every time I fix one thing, another thing breaks.
Why don't you back off before I do something you regret?
Are now kings of the castle. Still out. We'll get fired up. Either way, I got what you need.
Not looking for trouble, just some good deals.
Well, hello there, young lady.
Ain't got a lot of enemies around here. Watch your back. Yeah? I think you're gonna want to get out of here.
Get out of my face.
Hey there.
Over, boss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to ease relations with the people of the Commonwealth. Well, you've come to the right place. I've put together a couple of toys that should make getting what you want out of those rubes easier. Only thing we ask in return is that you remember the operators when you're handing out new territory on the other side of the mountains.
What exactly?
So, first up, something to manipulate a target. It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, getting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
Take any advantage?
Well, this should give you. Here. Only had enough to make the one locally. But you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero, so no need to fear repeat usage. Here. Ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot, hmm?
People who slight the operators don't last real long. Remember that.
disciples are a bunch of lunatics. You gotta consider what... You want me to hold the door for you?
Hey, you.
Yes. What do you want?
Are you the one in charge?
About as much as anyone, sure. Now, you want to tell me what...
There's a gang of raiders coming for this place. Mine. But if you leave right now, I promise you won't have any problems.
Leave? Huh. Thanks, but no thanks. Now, I think I'm gonna have to ask you to go.
I'm gonna make this easy for you. Take these caps and go.
Caps? For this? Yeah. Fine. I guess it's all yours.
Hey.
All right, I guess.
Rumor going around is that some big bad raider boss strolled into the Commonwealth and talked a group of settlers right off their land. Not too shabby.
It's a damn good start.
I'll make sure your cut of any caps the outpost pulls in are waiting in your quarters. So, now that we got part 1 on the books, we can move on to part 2, provisions. If you want to hang on to this newfound territory, you're going to need to convince a nearby settlement to start handing over shipments of supplies. I'll make sure those shipments get distributed direct to the outpost. Any caps they provide will be waiting in your trunk up in Fizztop. And the more a settlement produces for itself, the more of each we can get them to cough up. Now, like before, the method's up to you. You can try talking to them yourself, convince them to hand over the goods, or you and a crew can introduce some bullets to some kneecaps.
Why stop at kneecaps?
I'm gonna think it over.
Up to you, boss.